Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon, is sponsored by Baptist Healthcare. Watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
From Washington High School, we have a classic rivalry, two old rivalries in Pensacola, the Pensacola High Tigers and the Washington Wildcats tonight on High School Hoops. Hi everyone, Dan Shugart along with Jeff Price. Game's going to start a little late tonight because we've had a triple header. The women are on the floor right now. PHS and Washington, so our varsity game will start a little bit late, but we could have a really good one here. Washington comes in tonight with a 16-5 record, PHS 16-7. They're great rivals. They played a three-point game earlier in the year, but both teams have gone through a number of changes. PHS certainly has gone through some changes, both on the roster and really in their attitude, I guess. They're trying to get things going after a midseason slump.
Yeah, and like before the first matchup, 67-64, PHS got the win here. Kylan Eccles had 23 in that matchup, by the way, really led the way for them. A couple other guys to keep an eye out for tonight. The 6'4 junior Noah Jones had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and a win over Destin Tuesday night. And then another guy, hadn't played a lot, been called up off the bench, 12 points versus Pine Forest a week ago. That's junior Raymond Evil, and something to keep an eye on. When we're getting ever closer to the playoff hunt here. PHS 5th in Region 1. This win could solidify the Tigers' playoff position here.
8 teams from each region make the state tournament. The 4 district champions and then the 4 highest-ranked at-large teams. And so there's no guarantee if you're in the top 8 that you'll get in. Sometimes you get leapfrogged by a lower-ranked district champion. But you want to stay as comfortably in that top 8 as you possibly can. Both teams are in that position right now. For Washington, they are currently 4th in Region 1 in Class 5A. PHS is 4A. 16-5 record. They had run off a 9-game winning streak, lost a couple of games, and then came back and ended that 2-game slide with a win over Davenport on Tuesday night. Some changes there as well. Last time these two teams played, Keelan Williams and Xavier Starks missed the game with injuries. A couple of other players, the Griffin twins, have transferred out of Washington since then. They brought some players up as well. They also had a transfer, just surprise them, moved in from Brazil, Pedro Musalam, and he will play a factor tonight. They are led, of course, though, Washington by Jaden Clairley, the terrific sophomore. It's a very young team, but a very, very talented team, and they played a classic last time, and we're hoping to see that again tonight. Again, we'll start a little bit late tonight, so we'll be back with more of a pregame look. Washington and Pensacola High coming up from Ronnie and Janice Bond Gym. just coming on the floor for their warm-up. It's also senior night tonight at Washington. Fortunately, there's only one senior on the Washington roster, so all nights and all seasons for us to be here on a senior night when the preliminary games have run a little long. Pretty good year to do it when you only have one senior. That senior for Washington is Brody Dykes, who will figure in tonight's game. He wears number 20 in his final game here at Washington tonight. They take on the PHS Fighting Tigers. First-year coach David Williams Jr. Has obviously great ties to Pensacola High. He also has ties to Washington as well. David Williams' dad, David Williams Sr., was a longtime head coach at PHS and later principal, and went on to work for the school district. And so his son takes the reins after spent 6 years here at Washington as an assistant coach under Justin Pierce. Took a year off from coaching to get married. That's a good move. That's a smart coach right there. So starts the marriage. All right, then next year I'll start coaching again. He was hired as an assistant, first of all, at Escambia High, coaching for Jeremy Ruffin, and then took over the head coaching job and spent 5 years at Escambia before taking the job at PHS this year, replacing their longtime coach, Terrence Harris. So you got David Williams Jr., and he's really injected a lot of enthusiasm into this team, and a lot of seniors on the lineup. 8 seniors in there, but they just seem to be playing a little fresher, like a young team.
Yeah, I mean, you see the hardwood right there by Gene's floor cover. You can get a little history. We figured, hey, we'll go ahead and throw that out there. A lot of history, a lot of tradition between these two schools. Two of the oldest schools right here in Pensacola. Obviously, we had PHS in their matchup against Tate earlier, that loss. We talked about this before we came on air, and one thing you were concerned about was Washington, how fast they play. They're a young team. They're real quick. You were worried about how are the officials going to officiate tonight. We saw PHS. They like to play fast, but I think that's going to play a role here tonight.
Well, it could. We did notice PHS does like to kind of put some pressure on defensively, but we saw them in what was a similar matchup earlier in the year, our first broadcast at Tate. Tate plays very much the same way Washington does. Defensive pressure, high tempo, and just try to smother you to death and convert defensive turnovers into baskets at the other end. And PHS, played a pretty straight-up man-to-man defense that night, and the pressing and the trapping was very, very limited from the Tigers' standpoint. So there's a contrast in styles there. PHS handled it fairly well against Tate. Washington might be ramping it up a little bit more. I think they're probably the best in the area playing this particular style. They really can cause lots of problems for you. They're very young, very athletic. They have some rangy guards. Xavier Starks is a 6'3" guard. A rangy defensive player, really can cause some problems, especially in the traps and out on the press. Jaden Clarity, 6'1" sophomore. Keelan Williams, a 6'1" sophomore. Ton of sophomores on this Washington team. 8 sophomores and 1 freshman in this lineup that they have on the floor tonight. And another Brazilian who just got here, so he's almost like a freshman, except he is really a really nice player. So, so we'll see. We'll just see how, how they let them play it. And we'll just wait to see what kind of calls they make. All right, let's take a break. They're about to introduce the starting lineup. We'll take one more break, come back with a tip-off, PHS and Washington.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
All right, we're about ready to get going here. They had the national anthem and getting ready to start this ball game between these two arch rivals, Washington and PHS. Not a district game. They are in different classifications, but
it's a shame.
Yeah, really, that doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter whether they are or not. And so we mentioned Washington had dropped a couple of games. They lost to Catholic by 2 and then lost to Ribault by 10 on the 16th of January, and before coming back and beating Davenport on the 17th about a week ago. Starting lineup for Pensacola High: Rupert Sproles and Noah Jones start in the front court. Rupert Sproles averaging 7.5 points, 3.5 rebounds a game. And number 11, Noah Jones, 9 points, 6.5 rebounds. Doesn't necessarily score a bundle. He can, and it depends on how things get going, but he is really active on the boards and really a force. Kylan Eccles has been their leader pretty much throughout, wearing number 10 in the backcourt. 6-foot junior, 12 points and 3.5 rebounds a game. He scored 24 in our first broadcast this year against Tate. That's a season high for any of the PHS Tigers all year. And Noah Jones and Katina Mobley also in the starting lineup tonight. Starting lineup for the Washington Wildcat: Jaden Clardy, number 4, the sophomore guard, averaging 13.5 points a game. Also Keelan Williams, number 3. And in the lineup, starting lineup tonight, there's Pedro Musalim, number 13 tonight. So the Brazilian has played his way into the starting lineup. That's pretty good work. He may have a job in international diplomacy when all is said and done. So you have Xavier Starks as well, 6'3 junior, averaging 9.5 points a game. And Brody Dykes, the bearded senior, the one senior on this Washington team, 4 points a game for the 6'2 inside player.
You say the bearded senior is the only one old enough, it seems like, on this team.
Could be.
Grow a beard.
Could be. All right, so it will be Xavier Starks jumping center against Noah Jones. Starks jumping for Washington and Jones for Pensacola High. Starks along with Keelan Williams, 2 starters who missed the first meeting between these two teams. And Jones taps it, but taps it out of bounds. So he won the tap, but not the possession. So it'll be Washington's ball in the front court. Jamarcus Fountain was chasing that one down, number 4. He didn't complete the starting lineup for PHS, along with Katina Mobley. All right. PHS opening in a man-to-man. Three-pointer on the way. That is Keelan Williams. Rebound. Musalim fighting for it, but PHS comes out with it. That was Noah Jones going to the floor to win possession for the Tigers. That is Sproles from the corner for 3.
Sproles getting it started early. Pensacola State College, 3-point shot.
Rupert Sproles, 29% three-point shooter on the year. He is a high-volume three-point shooter, making 49. That's his 50th attempt on the year and his 15th make. Jaden Clardy kicks it back out to Musalim. And that is Starks backing it up. Clardy needs a bounce. Needs 2 and
gets it.
Jaden Clardy with the first basket for Washington, and there's Eccles ahead of the pack.
Well, we told you it was going to be fast.
PHS may pick up the pace maybe more than they would otherwise prefer to play. They like to run, but it's not really essential, but they might want to do it just to stay out of the full court pressure. Nice, tough shot by Keelan Williams.
Boy, Eccles gets it stolen away.
Clardy, coast to coast for Clardy.
Silky smooth. Boutwell Air Masters fast break.
Midcourt trap. Clardy got a hand on it, tipped it out of bounds. Still the Tigers' ball. Jamarcus Fountain, quarterback of the football team, wearing number 4, and he really can run the show. Our first broadcast They're down to Jones. He was open, kicks it out to the corner for three. That's off the mark. That was Eccles missing the three-pointer, and coming out with it now, that's Clarity. Checked at the free throw line, found Dykes to the corner for three. Oh. And Keelan Williams hits the three. He's got 5 in the early going. Down low, it's knocked away from Jones.
Jones looking for the foul.
Flaherty guarded tightly there by Catino Mobley, who usually draws the toughest defensive assignment. And he has Flaherty tonight. That might be a tough assignment if that goes well off the mark then, as Starks. Sproles, coast to coast. Rupert Sproles with his second basket. He's got 5. And it's a 9-7 ball game.
67-64 last time these two men. Looks like we're going to have another high-scoring affair.
Dwayne Francis is already up off the Washington bench to check in next whistle. Flaherty down the lane. Taken away for a moment by Eccles, but he couldn't control it. David Williams is up off the PHS bench. He wanted a held ball. Strolls to the floor.
Oh, my goodness.
And a foul called. PHS will go to the line. Great defensive effort. And the foul is on Keelan Williams. Great effort by Sproles twice. Came up with it the second time, and then the pass.
Boy, Brody Dykes down there. You see him right there, throws it out, and then Sproles just wanted it more. Rolls over. How about this move? That is impressive.
Yeah.
Eccles knocks down the first free throw. Checking in, Wayne Francis. For the Wildcats, number 33. You see our coastal vascular intervention free throw.
Eccles hits them both. And we're all tied at 9. Francis has really been a great, almost a surprise really as his development this year, but maybe not a surprise, but he certainly has stepped up when Washington is needed here with all the lineup changes. Francis has been one of the guys they've really counted on down the stretch. High archer by Sproles.
Sproles has got 8.
And bugged to the crowd. And it's 12-9 PHS. Sproles off to a great start.
Tough shot.
Strong rebound by Jones. Blocking Dykes off the board. Now Eccles spins on Francis into a double team, gets it back. And a tied up situation. Great defense by Dwayne Francis.
You see Eccles a little surprised by the call.
Caden Ware, the dangerous 5'9" sophomore guard, number 0, checks in, replacing Pedro Musalem. And another jumper. That's good by Eccles. So if he gets a hot hand, and you have Sproles hitting a few, watch out. PHS is especially dangerous. They're up by 5.
You know, Eccles had 23 in this matchup last time.
Ware can fill it up. That one's off the mark. Strong rebound. Good job on the defensive board so far by PHS tonight. Eccles pulled down the rebound, brought it up, then hands it to the point guard, DeMarcus Fountain. Dishes to the corner. Eccles alone for 3.
Holy cow.
Washington might need a timeout.
Yeah.
17-9. It is a 12-0 run for PHS.
And the foul off the ball. It's going to be on Eccles. Xavier Stark's going to check back in. He's going to check in for Dykes.
12-0 run over the last 3 minutes. Here's Starks. There's a 3 on the way. That's off the mark. High in the air. And the rebound kept alive by Starks, and Francis put it back in. So that ends that 12-0 run. And now they extend the defensive pressure. They'll try to trap here at the Coffin corner, but PHS gets it out of there. Now stuck in the other corner. Sproles has already hit a couple. Now drives, dishes off nicely to Jones. Blocked from behind and a foul called. I think it's probably going to be on Clarity. Check that.
Oh,
it's
no.
going to be on Francis.
Check the replay here. Good look down low. And
Noah Jones goes to the free throw line. Not a good free throw shooter. 46% on the year.
how about that?
There you go.
He just needed your encouragement.
As a team, PHS 61% from the line. And there's some games that'll get away from it. There's a lane violation on PHS. He missed the free throw anyway. By the way, our officiating crew from Emerald Coast. Tim Scott is our referee. Keith Bradshaw, Robert Jackson, the two umpires. Steal by Fountain. Lay it up and in.
Boy, Fountain holding his own defensively to start this game.
Shut off defensively there. It was Clarity trying to penetrate. Francis, no. The rebound comes off. Clarity chased it down. Mobley never saw it. Three-pointer on the way. That's off the mark. Sproles rebound. He wants a foul, and he does get it as he was shoved out of bounds by Starks. 1:39 to play in the first quarter that has been all PHS. After a 9-5 start from Washington, PHS has outscored the Wildcats 15-2.
You see Sproles right there. Got 8 so far tonight.
Great man-to-man from Washington. Oh, deflected out of bounds. Almost coming up in the steal with Xavier Starks. There's Fountain.
Cutting inside.
All out of bounds off Mobley. Fountain was there, couldn't finish. So with 1:19 to go, Washington with an opportunity here to cut into that 9-point deficit. Maybe finish the quarter on a high note here in the final minute 10. Oh, strong move, great drive by Keelan Williams.
Williams has got 7. Fountain dishes it out.
Eccles, long rebound, comes off to Caden Ware. Ware with Sproles back defensively and a foul from behind on Mobley. It's only the second team foul on PHS, so inbound pass and a foul called on Sproles as he hung on to Xavier Starks on the inbound play. Sproles picks up his first foul, and going to the free throw line will be Xavier Starks. First trip to the line tonight for the Wildcats. Tristan Romero up off the PHS bench. He's into the lineup for the first time. Sproles comes out. Mobley comes out as well. And Jabari Epps also in. And Romero comes down with a rebound. He just joined the team and just throws it away. And then commits a foul. Romero just became eligible for the second semester, just joined the team. So can't possibly be in perfect mid-season form, but those are mental errors there.
Keelan Williams knocks down his first attempt.
Williams gets them both.
Slowly but surely, Washington claws their way back in.
Yeah, 4 down here. It's after trailing by 9 with a minute to go. And they come up with another steal, then lost it. And then blocking the ball out of bounds. It'll stay with PHS. Nice defensive recovery by Dwayne Francis, getting the block shot on Jabari Epps. Jabari Epps, number 3 for Pensacola, just checked in. He's instant offense. He can score a bundle. Excellent shooter, and he can really get hot. PHS looking like they might want to hold it for the last shot. Booker T staying back. And now the count. Fountain has to get rid of it. He does to Eccles. Eccles flashing along the baseline. Followed up and in by
Noah Jones. Great job on the boards by Jones.
That's a big basket early by PHS. 3-pointer on the way. And that'll end the first quarter. PHS, a 6-point lead, 22-16, here on High School Hoops.
You're watching G's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
I'm not sure if Kylan Eccles likes TV or likes playing against Washington. Last time he was on TV, he scored a season-high 24 against Tate. Last time he played Washington, he scored 23, his 2 best offensive nights of the year. Now he's got Washington on TV, and Francis has the first basket of the second quarter.
Look at Washington ramping it up. In a trap here. Boy, Eccles driving to the basket, can't get the roll right there.
And beating everyone down the floor, laying it up and in. Romero back slowly defensively, and beating down the floor with Xavier Starks. And just like that, it's a 1-point ball game, 22-21. Noah Jones kicks it back out. Epps back to Jones. Might have been blocked by Francis. And Washington's picking up the intensity a bit defensively. 3-pointer on the way from Francis. Long rebound. Chased down quickly and nicely by Starks. Another 3. That one goes.
Elon Williams. The early timeout for Coach David Williams.
Well, that Washington, or rather that Pensacola lead, which was 9, midway to late through the first quarter, is gone. Washington now leading at 24-22.
Yeah, Williams has 12 already. Well, we got a pretty good one coming up next week. Talking about we got 2 games left after tonight. Be at Niceville. We got to catch some of the women's game here tonight for Washington. They pulled the victory out over PHS. We'll get to go on the road to Niceville. 6:30 start there on Tuesday. And obviously we see the final game right there on Friday. West Florida at Pensacola Catholic.
Both those teams have done some really good things this year. That's usually a really nice rivalry. We had that, double overtime game at West Florida a couple of years ago, I think it was. Another deflection, another steal. Coming up with it is Francis off the deflection by Williams. And a nice job recovering defensively by Eccles to bat that pass out of bounds. Washington on a 13-2 run. So it's a game of runs so far. Inbound, getting loose is Francis. Sproles fouled him, and Francis will go to the line.
Oh no, he traveled.
A travel before the foul attempt.
How about that?
So PHS gets a break on the turnover.
Slinging that thing down there.
Eccles, followed by Jones.
Boy, Jones on the boards tonight. How many second chance points has he had?
He's got 5 overall. Tight defense by Fountain on Starks. Starks has gotten off to a good start tonight. Or rather, that was on Williams, rather. Williams off to a good start tonight. Starks is too, for that matter. Clarity working on Jones. He had Jones out there, and that's maybe a mismatch. I'm surprised Clarity didn't try to take him all the way to the hoop. Long rebound chased down by Williams. Keelan Williams, and then to Francis inside.
Boy, Wayne Francis playing some big minutes here tonight for Washington. He's got 7.
Sproles is not getting many good looks since he hit those early 3-pointers. Nice dish by Fountain, and it will go.
Noah Jones.
Foul is on Jaden Clarity. Noah Jones on another great assist from Jamarcus Fountain.
Raymond Evil is going to check in for PHS. 25, we talked about him in the open.
You know, he shouldn't be a 46% free throw shooter. It's not perfect for him. The ball spins kind of funny, but he looks like he's a better shooter than that.
He knows what he's doing.
Another lead change here. Washington handles the pressure pretty easily. 3-pointer by Ware. He can get a hot hand early. In fact, he's the first player PHS coach David Williams Jr. talked about when I said, what do you look at from Washington? And he says, the first thing is Ware.
Oh, Evil.
Well, he didn't waste any time putting it up, did he?
You got to get hot.
Sproles. That's off the mark. But another offensive rebound. That one by Evil. I mean, it's shoveled into the backcourt, but it was deflected. So PHS comes up with it. Epps dishes inside. Blocked inside. Big play defensively by Xavier Starks. Starks.
Oh, how about that? Good on both ends.
Another lead change as Washington's up by 1. There's Evil, who spent most of the year on the JV, just came up. Knocked to the floor at the foul called on Xavier Starks.
Be his second.
Starks picks up the foul.
Brody Dykes will check in, and Starks will check out.
With his second foul. Washington maybe a little deeper than PHS is, although if Pensacola High gets quality minutes out of the 2 new additions, there's Sproles left open.
Oh my goodness, you can't leave him that open.
No, you can't. He's done that twice now. It's a high arching left-hander. And when it goes down, he turns to the crowd.
Yeah, he's having fun with that crowd so far tonight.
That's a nice runner by Clarity.
Oh, man. Clarity.
Back and forth we go.
Be on Epps. Check this out. Great finish by Clarity.
4:11 to play. Francis comes out. And
Musalem checks
Musalem back in, yeah.
Pete Moore Chevrolet free throw.
Sproles stepped into the lane.
He didn't just step into it. He was holding back so
He
hard.
tried.
Like he's like, he pump faked me.
Yeah, that's what he said. And yeah, it actually.
He got pump faked on a free throw.
So the violation cost him. 3-point play for Flaherty.
Oh, look at this. Wide open. Oh, great recovery.
And a great follow by your man, Evil.
Love it. Uh-oh.
3-pointer by Ware. Look at the hot hand. And he finds it.
Boy, back and forth we go. Pensacola State College 3-point shot. Evil.
That's well off the mark. He's missed badly on a couple of shots up off the Washington bench now is the freshman Hudson Hooten. He'll check in next whistle. There's another three on the way.
Oh, my goodness.
Keelan Williams, no doubt about it.
Williams got 15 so far.
Never got the Sproles. Dykes almost saved it. 2 Sproles, but he was on the line. So it'll be PHS's ball inbounding it with 3:16 to play in a wild first half.
Eccles will check back in. Evil take
comes
a seat.
out. Yep. Evil, a 5'11" junior, but again, spending all season really on the JV. Epps took a look at that three. And kicks it off, gets it back from Mobley.
Great recovery by Wildcats defense.
Sproles looks down to the baseline of Mobley, hands it off to Eccles for three.
Oh, man, he wants it, and he shushes the crowd. Oh, man.
What a wild first half. 37-35, we're on 80-point pace for both teams. Foul on Sproles, and that could be important. That's his second. With 2:44 to go.
Got a hand in there, but couldn't finish the job. Gets a little cheap foul. You see him right there. Had his hand on it.
2:40 to play. The score sheet's going to run out of space.
No kidding.
That made extra. Well, Dykes threw a little elbow as he cut across the lane. Deflected out of bounds by Mobley. Still Washington ball. 2:27 to play. Had 9 lead changes here in the first half. There's Hooten. Back out. Williams. Keelan Williams. Ooh, almost double dribbled. Flaherty dishes it nicely to Dykes. And he gets the roll.
Finished by Dykes.
Noah Jones gets it to Epps. Epps, that pass deflected. I tell you what, the one-handed passes, you better really know what you're doing, because Washington's gonna get a hand on it.
Oh man!
Epps down the lane, and a whistle and a foul, late whistle.
Oh, late whistle.
And Epps still on the floor.
That's a hammer right there going up.
Foul is called on Dykes. Number 20, Brody Dykes draws his first.
Check it out right here. You make the call. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy call. Just took him a minute.
And I think as much as anything, if the whistle had been a little quicker, you probably wouldn't have had nearly the reaction from the Washington crowd here. But obviously it was a foul.
Eccles.
Three-pointer off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Keelan Williams. Flaherty may take it to the hoop. He does. That leap and leaner. Rebound pulled down by Sproles, and he lost the handle. And the freshman Hooten ties him up. So Hudson Hooten, who was called up from the JV mid-season with all the roster changes, the Griffin brothers transferring out right before Christmas, and some injuries as well. Hooten came up and he stayed up. Been impressive as a freshman. Baseline.
And a foul. I believe that's going to be on Dykes.
On Hooten. Check that. Hooten gets the foul.
See the replay right? Yep. Ooh,
Dykes
could have got called too.
Well, Dykes is kind of lucky Hooten got him first.
Yep.
Hooten checks out. Dwayne Lewis has a word with him first. And an illegal screen or pushing off. Sproles just picked up his third foul.
Oh boy, that's not good at all. And Sproles going to check out last minute here.
11 points in the first half for Rupert Sproles. He averages 7.5 a game. He's got 11 tonight, but he's going to sit for a while. He's picked up his third foul with about 80 seconds to go in the half. Dykes gave it up, got it back. Little elbow buys him some room. That strong rebound between Francis and Clarity, and a whistle and a foul called on Francis, I believe it is. So you asked the question pregame, what do you expect from the officials? How are they going to call it? Because Washington plays such a physical, pressure defense. If you let it go, it really plays to their advantage if you're going to let them play. If not, then, well, THS has a shot.
They let them play a little bit in the first, and then I think they kind of all got on the same page. We just can't let this continue on.
Which I think is probably good officiating.
Yeah.
72% free throw shooter goes to the line. Epps after the 15 foul on Washington. Jabari Epps looking for his first points.
We talk about foul trouble. Sproles has 3 for PHS. That's about the only one. Starks and Francis for Washington both have 2.
Epps gets them both. 2-point ball game with 53 seconds to go. Remember the end of the first quarter after PHS had gone out to a 9-point lead. It was the final minute of the first quarter where Washington made a nice little run. They 7-0 run at one point.
And Jacoby Kirkland, the 6'4" junior, checks in, number 22, PHS.
He is a defensive wizard inside. Leads the Tigers in block shots. He's guarding Francis down low. Clarity challenges him with a runner, gets his own rebound.
Number 30.
Where to Francis has hit a couple of outside jumpers. Now Clarity will back it up. Defense comes out to meet him. That's Fountain guarding him. Washington looking for a last shot. 15. Francis working on Eccles. And a foul called. And Francis will go to the line.
Yeah, it'll be on Kirkland.
Kirkland picks up the foul. He just checked in. That's his first foul. 2 shots to the line, Dwayne Francis. Dwayne, of course, the younger brother of Shemaiah Francis, the all-state performer on the girls' team, coming back from knee injury. She had suffered that ACL tear a year ago. Missed the playoff last year, playing herself into shape now. Sort of a Reggie Miller, Cheryl Miller thing.
Oh, they're going to get a foul on Keelan Williams.
Keelan Williams, second foul. So with 6.8 seconds to go, to the free throw line goes Jacoby Kirkland. He's been to the line twice. He's 2 for 4 from the line this year.
Muslim will check back in. Washington as Williams will take a seat. A second ago, Markel Jackson checked in. 6'3" junior, number 11.
One out of 2. 2-point ball game.
Kirkland will check out. And Catino Mobley check back in.
Yeah, Mobley will pick up defensively. I figure he's on Clarity. Yeah, that's going to be found on Clarity. Clarity.
And more time.
Boy, he did. I'm not sure he would have come closer if he'd used it.
Yep.
That's an exciting first half of basketball here from Washington High. These two teams very nearly fit to be tied. 40-38, the Wildcats with a 2-point lead here at halftime from Washington.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
I only take part in basketball because it takes up a lot of time. I really love playing it, and it's fun. I like to help other girls just live out their dream through this sport because it's a way to make relationships and, become determined, gritty, kind of kill all birds in one stone before going to the next level and having to present yourself to, like, other people in the world as I become a young adult. Post-graduation plans is to become a top basketball player at the University of Florida State, and then go professional, and then after professional, become a D1 college coach and a mentor to younger girls, maybe even a sports analyst, but that'll be later on down the road if I decide.
Hi, I'm Gary Winkler with Reef Runner Remodeling and Repair. At Reef Runner Remodeling and Repair, we understand the value of education and teamwork that is gained through high school sports. That's why we are a proud supporter of student athletes everywhere.
Thank you, Reef Runner Remodeling and Repair, for the opportunity to compete for the Scholar Athlete of the Year award.
Here are the best high school hoops plays from across the country.
5 seconds to go, inbounded. It'll count.
Shot, finish the quarter.
Really good heady plays. Alley-oop, alley-oop, alley-oop. back-to-back turnovers. This one leads to the big dunk inside by Terrell Johnson.
Now she's got an open three. It's on the way, and it is good. 10 3-pointers for Aliyah Vance tonight.
There goes Fry. Another dunk for the Morgantown Mohegans. Max Fry with 15.
Against pressure. Hands it to Washington. 4 seconds. Camry Johnson. Oh!
Three-pointer at the buzzer.
It's the Pensacola State College halftime here from the Ronnie and Janice Vaughn Gymnasium at Washington High School. And they proudly celebrate 6 state championships in basketball at Washington High. 70, 80, 81, 86, 93, and 2000. The men's and women's programs both coming back with trophies over the years here at Washington. What a first half we had. Great numbers.
Yeah, we did. And let's start for PHS. Like, they're down 2, but boy, oh boy, Rupert Sproul started out hot. So far tonight, he's got 11. Jabari Epps comes in with 2. Eccles didn't seem like he could miss for a while there. He's got 12 tonight. And Noah Jones, the second chance points on the boards, the rebounds, and driving in the paint. He's got 8 tonight for PHS.
Meanwhile, for Washington, the Wildcats, Keelan Williams, who missed the first meeting between these two teams and missed a number of had a broken thumb earlier in the year and missed the first half of the year. You can really see how much they miss number 3 when he's not in there. He had 15 points to lead everybody in that first half. What a first half he had. And also Dwayne Francis also didn't start tonight but came off the bench for 8 points. Shaden Clarity with 7. Xavier Starks with 5. Pretty balanced scoring. For Washington, they lead by 2, 40-38. And if we have a second half that even approaches the intensity and the competitiveness of this first half, we really have a great game, great second half coming up.
Yeah, extremely excited to see what's going to happen here. They're both teams playing tough. I mean, as many points we got, they both play great defense. It's just being able to execute on offense. So, a couple guys to keep in mind. Rupert Sproles has 3 fouls for PHS. Keelan Williams has 2 fouls along with Starks and Francis. So 3 guys got 2 for Washington. But, boy, 3 for Sproles. He's going to have to sit here. We'll see what Coach does, but he played a big role.
All right, we'll be back for the second half for PHS in Washington. It's a 2-point ball game.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
just about ready to get started here in the second half. A 2-point ball game. Each team made a run in the first half. PHS had a 15-2 run to take a 9-point lead in the first quarter, and Washington immediately answered with a 13-0 run of their own. And then the two teams have gone back and forth since then. 9 lead changes and 2 ties in that first half. And a 2-point Washington lead as they start the second half with the ball. And Clarity kicks it back out to Stark, sets off the mark. Rebound chased down by Mobley. Mobley beat Keelan Williams to the ball. Eccles had the hot hand, doesn't take that shot. Fountain looks, pulls up, blocked by Francis. And Francis comes up with a loose ball. Dwayne Francis into the front court, hounded and almost fouled by Fountain, who backed off. Clarity.
Great defense by Jones.
Batted out of bounds by Jones. Couldn't come up with a defensive rebound, but he kept it out of the hands of the Washington offensive rebounders. So the Wildcats will inbound it. Clarity out front to start. Francis now works
Nice
over
touch.
Fountain. Francis with the size advantage. He's 6'3", and Fountain at 5'7", so he took advantage, and the basket by Francis starts the second half scoring. Ten points for Francis. Washington opening up in that zone, giving them a different defensive look. Daring Pensacola High to, well, there's a trap down low, yeah, but just daring him to hit some outside shots. They had the hot hand early, but they're not necessarily a great outside shooting team, but they can be a very hot outside shooting team. As we mentioned, they're 29% on three-pointers. Fountain missed that last one.
And Jones trying to lock down Williams.
I would think Williams might try to take him. And that's banked up. Starks can't get it to go. Jones flies into the rebound and protects the ball and now hands it to the guard, as every good rebounding forward does. Boy, Epps took a look.
He wants it.
Epps is the one guy who has a chance of getting really, really hot from outside. He hits rolls. There's Eccles. He had a hot hand in the first half. Flying in and knocking the rebound loose was Mobley, but it comes out to Clarity. Can't get the roll, but the rebound off Clarity, out of bounds to PHS. So Clarity came down with the defensive rebound, took it coast to coast.
He tried to draw the foul right there, and I think defender backing off kind of messed him up a little bit.
Jones in the front court, perilously close to the mid-court line. He had established three-point position in the front court with both feet there. So if he had stepped back into the back court, it would have been a turnover. Coach David Williams up off the PHS bench after that last possession, shouting instructions on how he wants his team to attack this zone, I think. And that's not how you want to do it. Coming up with a steal again was Williams to Francis. Can't get it to go. Good defensive effort getting back by Fountain.
Oh, man.
That ball knocked out of there by Jones. Outlet pass gets to Eccles, 3-on-1.
Great pass.
Finishes. Only 2 buckets in the first 3 minutes and change here of the third quarter. But not for want of action. Three-pointer on the way. That's by Williams off the mark. Rebound batted around and gets to Clarity for the basket. Timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. 4:29 to play in the third quarter. Washington with a 44-40 lead. And this timeout, the short timeout, might give Dave Williams a chance to counsel his team on how we want to handle this zone defense. As soon as they get the ball inside to Jones, boy, they get the trap comes and clamps. So, but, as well as they shot the ball in the first half, 5 3-pointers in that first half for each team. PHS had 5 and Washington had 5. So you'd think that against the zone, they might get some open looks. The flip side of that is Washington is so long on the perimeter. Their guards, go 6'1", 6'1", 6'3", that they can extend that zone defense, and now they extend it into what's probably going to be a half-court trap. There it comes. They beat the trap. Fountain, number 4, the point guard for PHS, also the quarterback on the football team. And there's a foul on Dykes, shuts him off at the baseline, but threw a hip into Eccles. So Dykes picks up the foul.
Dykes trying to plead his case. See it right there. Mobley going to inbound here for the Tigers.
Cahoon gets it into Jones. Jones kicks it out, corner, three-pointer up. Noah Jones on the offensive boards, gets it back to Fountain. He'll launch. At the three.
There it is. That might be what gets them rolling here.
Great work on the offensive boards by Noah Jones. 1-point ball game on the three. 6th three of the night for PHS. Clarity. Williams. Rebound off. Starks and out of bounds. 3:41 to play. Substitution as Dykes comes out.
Corner
and so
will
does
check
Starks.
Number 21. Dangerous pass. Boy, they're lucky to hang on to that one. Yep, there it goes. It looks like, that'd be a little cheap foul.
Foul called.
It's going to be on Ware.
Inside Eccles. Fouled. And he will go to the line in the act of shooting. And that foul called on corner, I believe. Eccles, 72% from the line this year. Ties the ball game at 44.
Both of them.
And PHS regains the lead. That's our 10th lead change. Clarity. Gets his own rebound. Nice effort. All right, we're taking a timeout. Timeout on the floor. 3:04 to play in the third quarter, and it's Washington by 1.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
Midway through the third quarter here, and these teams no one can separate. Each team's made a big run in the first half to open up a lead. Biggest lead for PHS tonight was 9 points. Washington came back to open up a lead of their own. They had a 13-0 run to actually erase that 9-point lead. And the two teams have been within 3 or 4 points since. Epps traveled, he did. 2:44 to play. I think he wanted to come off that curl and fire the three-pointer, but defensively, Caden Ware was right there.
It just hadn't been there tonight for him.
Mobley and Epps in the backcourt, along with Jamarcus Fountain for PHS. Noah Jones having a nice night inside. Eccles also there. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Tigers. Nice move, Williams.
Oh, my goodness.
Kalen Williams. His first basket of the second half.
He's got 17.
He has 17 indeed. Washington's lead is 3. Fountain. He traveled. So 2 traveling violations against PHS the last 2 trips down the floor. And Washington has the ball and a 3-point lead.
I believe we have a snack violation on the court. Some popcorn.
All right, PHS extending the defense a little bit. Washington sees this every day in practice. They handle the pressure pretty well. Plus they have really 3 point guards on the floor. Flaherty gets it down low, knock loose, foul called inside on Mobley for PHS.
Oh, man.
Bounce went off Francis. He got it back. Nice recovery. If that goes, foul inside again. And that's on Noah Jones.
That's his first tonight.
It's amazing as active as he is on the floor. Up off the PHS bench, Tristan Romero again. 6'3" senior, big body, is going in for Epps. So it's a bigger lineup on the floor now for PHS is both Noah Jones and Tristan Romero. Jones at 6'4", Romero a strong 6'3".
Oh.
Romero down low on Xavier Corner, the 6'5" sophomore, number 21. Flaherty can't find anywhere to go. Can't shake Eccles, got it back. Corner inside, and he's tied up. He is tied up, and PHS will take possession of it.
That worked out all right anyway, because I believe Flaherty doubled there.
Yeah, that's a DJ Williams up off the David Williams up off the PHS bench. That's what he's hollering about.
Yeah, I don't blame him on that one.
Pretty good case. Overall, though, not the easiest game to officiate. I think they've done a pretty good job.
Yes.
Fountain, that shot's blocked. He gets it back. And Romero ties up. This one will belong to Washington. So the arrow gives the ball back to the Wildcats.
I believe that was Ware. You see him right now, the biggest guy, 5'9", blocking that shot right there.
Wow. Might be a little generous. All the way jumper.
Oh,
nice shot.
Boy, Williams again.
Yeah, Keelan Williams is unstoppable tonight. He's got 19. And Washington has matched his biggest lead out. Block shot inside. That is Corner with the block. Flaherty.
The finish.
The other end.
That's a 7-point lead.
Yeah, Washington has their biggest lead of the night. They led by 5 at 9-4. And again, the final minute and 20 seconds or so of each quarter has been very good to Washington. Romero throws that one away. Williams doesn't get it to go, but he gets the foul. Romero commits the foul.
Well, you thought for a second Romero was just going to let it go, just take the easy 2, but almost an and 1 situation.
So Keelan Williams, what a night he's having. His first trip to the free throw line tonight. Washington is a team 5 for 8 from the free throw line. PHS, who shoots 61% on the year, is 9 for 11 from the line. But they're down 7 right now, a chance to go down 9 if Williams can hit a couple of free throws. You need the iron. Front iron's the one that's going to help you out.
How about that? Sproles back in there, 3 fouls. Knew he was going to sit for a while.
He sat, well, for 7.5 minutes at the third quarter. 2 free throws by Williams, and it's now a 54-45 lead.
Under 30 to play here.
It's a 10-0 run.
Corner got another block, but great recovery.
Jones end up with it.
I believe it was Jones.
Francis. Flaherty now, 15 seconds. He's guarded tightly by Eccles. Flaherty with a hand check, or rather Eccles with a hand check and the foul on Eccles. 6 seconds to go. That is the 4th team foul on PHS, so Washington inbounds it. Williams.
Boy, Williams, you know he's feeling it.
Guarded by Fountain. Williams!
Holy cow, that's about as good a defense as you could play, but can't stop Williams.
Keelan Williams hits the fall-away jumper to end the third quarter. A big third quarter for the Wildcats. Washington leads 56-47 with 8 minutes to play.
You're watching G's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
Washington High has opened up a 9-point lead as we go to the fourth quarter here. They used a 16-9 third quarter to do that.
Big parts to Keelan Williams.
Well, Keelan Williams, you know, he had a broken thumb at the start of the year. He missed 10 games. He played the opener. I think he broke his thumb in the second game of the year, but he missed 10 games there. His first full game back, he scored 19 against Fairhope. 2 games later, he had his season high 23. He has matched that 23 tonight.
Well, he had 8 in the third, and Flaherty had 6.
Down low, spinning away, and having shot blocked. Eccles was blocked there by Horner, and then Fountain's shot came up short.
Horner playing some big-time defensive minutes. Wildcats.
He's a young man who's really come around. Still learning, says Dwayne Lewis, but
he's got the block shot down, that's for sure. Oh, tough.
Shot by Francis.
He's got 12 tonight.
Feels a little like last night. Reasonably competitive ball game, and then maybe a run.
Yep.
Eccles has tied up by Clarity.
Oh, they're going to call it a foul on Clarity.
Foul on Clarity.
Ooh, tough.
2 on him. PHS really needs a bucket here. They need a bucket and a couple of stops, get back in this, or down 11 in this ball game, the way Washington's been playing defense, especially here in the second half. Sproles. Eccles for 3. That's off the mark. Francis high in the air for the rebound.
They really need Eccles to get hot.
Ware, that's short. Offensive rebound again. Francis this time gets it to Clarity. Back to Francis. Rebound. Clarity takes it away from Fountain.
So tough down there.
Ware sidestep into 3. Off the mark. Rebound.
Francis and the putback. Boy, Francis having a heck of a night tonight.
14 points for him. The lead is 13. Timeout on the floor. 6:24 to play. A full timeout. We'll take it with them. Washington's open it up by 13.
You're watching G's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
Well, that scoreboard is wrong, but it kind of feels like it.
As of late.
It is 60 to 47.
Yeah.
13-point Washington lead. Remember, this was a 2-point game at the half. 40 to 38. Washington opened a 9-point lead with a big third quarter. And they've stretched the lead here with the first couple of baskets of the fourth.
Oh, nice finish by Eccles.
Finish by Eccles.
They needed that the worst way. Eccles has been trying to get something going down low, but couldn't get it going with cornering those guys down there, blocking a couple shots.
It was a 14-2 run for Washington before that basket. Three-pointer by Ware, a little long. He has not had the hot hand tonight, but there you go on the offensive boards. It's Francis deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Washington.
Yeah, we just talked about it at break, how big of a game Francis has played. Not obviously 14 points, but on the boards, clamping it down.
Even if he doesn't come down with a rebound, he's kept a lot of offensive rebounds alive. Clarity works his way inside and dishes it. And rebound Sproles. Corner missed the shot. And Fountain just flips it ahead to Epps. And Epps will go to the line. Jones tipped it in, but after the foul was called. So Epps draws the foul from Francis.
It's his third.
Third foul on Francis, and Epps goes to the free throw line. Needs a bounce, and a 72% free throw shooter can get a bounce.
Haven't been able to do it from 3 tonight. Scoring the majority of his points here at the line.
He's got just 5 tonight. I have points for Epps, 4 straight for Pensacola, and it's once again a 9-point game. 5:25 to go. Plenty of time. He could use a couple of stops. And that guy's going to make it hard. Keelan Williams gets it to Ware. That's blocked by Jones and corralled by Sproles. Outlet pass, bad idea. Williams is there to steal it. Flaherty out front with Fountain on him, a pair of number 4s. Flaherty blows by him and draws the foul. That's going to be number 4 on Sproles. Sproles, 4 fouls on him. After that hot start in the first half, he scored 11 points, but then picked up that 3rd foul.
Yeah, Coach Williams going to leave him in there. I don't blame him. Got to ride with him right now.
Flaherty.
Starks is going to check in for a corner. For 5 for 21 for the Wildcats. Well, the corner plays a big minutes.
Flaherty gets 1, and the lead is 10. 5 minutes to go. Sproles takes it.
Nice move. Sproles got 13.
His first points since he picked up his 3rd foul in the 2nd quarter. Fountain reaching in on Flaherty there, kind of poking loose. Getting lost defensively with Jones, I believe, and Flaherty follows it in. Fountain was screaming because he thought Jones was supposed to switch and didn't, and that left Flaherty wide open. 3-pointer on the way, that's off the mark. Francis all alone. Jones pulls down the rebound. Deflected out of bounds, stays with PHS. Pensacola down 10. Sproles drove it last time. He had that hot hand from 3-point range early. Booker T staying back in the sagging zone. I think he's going to dare someone from PHS to try to hit a long one. Eccles inside to Sproles. Blocked away. That time by Xavier Starks. Well, I don't know how many blocks they have. Francis comes out and gets in Sproles' face. Did not give him a good look in the corner. To Jones. Triple team. Sproles will take that one. Flaherty with a rebound. And now with a 10-point lead, he dribbles out of trouble into the front court. 3-pointer from Francis. Off the mark.
Jones again. On the rebound.
Knocked out of bounds. It went off of Epps. Good defensive play by Xavier Starks, getting the turnover. Mobley is up off the PHS bench, the 5'10" senior, and Sproles will take a seat. Just over 3 minutes to play, still a 10-point lead for Washington. PHS needs to stop, and they need somebody to get a hot hand.
A couple turnovers right here. Huge.
Mobley just checked in. He is probably their best defender on the perimeter. He and Fountain now guarding Flaherty.
Washington going to use some clock.
Yeah, notice if PHS is going to stay back defensively, they'll just milk the clock with a 10-point lead. Fountain. Kick it back out to Francis to start and reset it. 2:29 to play. Nice job taking care of the ball by Washington. Burning some clock. Ware.
Tough shot.
But
there he is again.
There you go. Francis with another offensive rebound. Big sister's going to be proud of little brother tonight. What a game he's playing. We will see Washington, and Shemaya Francis, the All-State performer. Next Tuesday night as Washington travels to Niceville. Timeout on the floor, 1:53 to play. Washington takes it. We've already had our TV timeout, so Dwayne Lewis, head coach, gets the timeout to preserve the possession. 1:53 to play and a 10-point lead. Dwayne Lewis, what a job he has done here at Washington. Remember he coached at Pine Forest back around 2007 to 10, thereabouts? Well, he came here and was hired after to replace Justin Pierce back in 2018, and they only had 4 players returning on that team. They lost the great Michael Randolph, who went off and had a terrific career at Florida A&M. Eric Milton, they had 4 seniors off that team, really good players left. And then a number of others either transferred out or just didn't play basketball. So he only had 4 players returning. The next year, they had 3 freshmen who came in who played, and it was a young team, and it's an understatement to say they took their lumps. That team went 0-24 in 2018-19. But 2 years later, Alex Jasquith, Jordan Buchanan, Gally Rich were 3 freshmen who came in.
They were fun to watch.
They won 6 games that year, but 2021-22, 3 years after going 0-24, they were 20-7. And then 18-7, 16-10, 19-8, and 16-5, looking like they'll make it 17-5 since then. His first 3 years, Dwayne Lewis, 14-53 here as he tried to build something, and build it he has. 4 years since, they're 89-37. And he's got an awfully young team now.
I was about to say.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
The future's not bright, the future's now.
Yeah.
They look pretty darn good.
So the foul up off of Josh Quiles, number 1 in the game for PHS, and just to commit that foul, and he did. That is only the 2nd team foul on PHS, so Washington will inbound it 2 more times. Down, gets there, gets it back to Clarity, and he wisely dribbles it out. The clock is priority number 1 right now. Francis gets the foul from Eccles. 1:43 to play. That's now the 3rd team foul. So
Evil's going to check in for Eccles.
And that foul on Epps. So that's the 4th team foul. Inbound it one more time, and now Washington will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. And that foul does before they even get it inbounds on Josh Quiles.
Must be on Epps.
Oh, check that is on Epps. So, Caden Ware goes to the line. 5'9" sophomore. He averages 8.5. His high point game was the first meeting with PHS. Scored 17 that night. Has not had that kind of night tonight. That's his 4th point.
He misses the 2nd. Another turnover.
Starks with a steal. Well, it's a combination. Washington so quick and so long defensively, but also there have been a lot of soft passes and long outlet passes, and in retrospect, really had no chance to get there.
Speaking of a good night, Clarity.
Always.
All around.
His twin sister also on that Washington women's team, Jada.
And Markel Jackson will check in, number 11, 6'3" junior for Washington, checking out Dwayne Francis and his 14-point night tonight.
15 for Clarity now.
22, Elijah Wiggins will check in for the first time tonight for the Wildcats. Sproles checks back in for the Tigers.
Eccles hits the 3.
Boy, Eccles wishes he would have hit that a long time ago. He was trying to get hot. Couldn't get it rolling early.
10-point lead with 1:28 to play. Stranger things have happened. You know, Sproles still has eligibility. He's got 4 fouls, and he hit those high arching threes. He's hit one here in the second half. So
you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance.
There you go. That's all we need. Now again, Tuesday, got a pretty good game here. The women's side of things will ramp back up as we'll go on the road to Niceville against this pretty darn good Booker T. Washington girls team. And obviously, the opening game, you were talking about that, these two matching up.
Yeah.
You got to catch a little bit of that.
I caught, the fourth quarter. That was Niceville came from 10 points down in the fourth quarter and got forced a couple of turnovers, forced one about 10 seconds ago, and then Carson Fayard hit a jumper in the lane to win it. It was a great game, really competitive. Of course, Shemaya Francis, the all-state, all-America player, really, for Washington, is still recovering from the torn ACL she suffered at the end of last season, so she didn't play that night. She's playing now. And that foul was on Quiles. So, Caden Ware back to the line.
Stat pad time. Let's play a tough game tonight.
And into the game, Elijah Wiggins checks in, and Francis comes out. Great performance by Dwayne Francis.
Yeah, all around tonight.
And Markel Jackson in there as well. And then you have the backcourt of Ware, Williams, and Clarity. And Clarity,
there he is again.
Fast to the board. Gets the offensive rebound. The rebound goes back to Williams.
Williams got 25. Another turnover for the Tigers, and a couple more substitutions coming in. That's Pedro Musalem.
Yep. Musalem back in for Washington, and the shock troops in for PHS. And Robert Bullard is in, number 5 for PHS, along with Josh Quiles. He's there still. Mobley coming off the bench. They commit the foul in the backcourt. 12-point game with 1:18 to go. And Ware's going to go back to the line. He just missed a couple, but it's a 12-point lead with 1:18 left.
Yeah, no, and Raymond Evil checking in, 5'11" junior for the Tigers, 25. Yeah, they're using every bit of Quiles' fouls here. He's the guy.
Well, they paid off.
That's absolutely.
It's 0 for 3 now off Quiles' fouls. Another wholesale substitution. Get the offensive team in there. Sproles and Jones, Fountain, Epps, and Eccles.
All right, there he goes. Fountain will take it up.
Yep.
Nice finish.
Another timeout. 1:08 to play. We're inching closer, down 11. The best part of this is we started late.
Now that first half, I mean, he had almost 80 points, but it still flew by pretty darn quick and dragging along here at the end.
Well, again, we've got the game Tuesday, the women's game, Washington, Niceville. Looking forward to that one. Could be a beauty with two of the best teams in Northwest Florida. And then, of course, we finish up the schedule.
That'd be a fun one.
Friday, West Florida at Catholic. We haven't done a game at Catholic in a while.
In a minute.
We had these two teams a couple years ago at West Florida. That game went into, how many overtimes we have that night?
It was last year, wasn't it?
Was it last year?
It was last year.
I'm retired, man. I'm impressed.
That's going to throw a wrinkle right there. Elijah Jernigan checked in for the Tigers. They're going to get a foul on him off the ball.
And so going to the line will be Ware. Well, it did kind of ground to a halt, didn't it?
Did. Ware's not going to like his free throw percentage after tonight.
No, it's not been a great shooting night for him. Sproles fumbles it out of bounds, knocked out of his hand by Williams. And Williams looked like he thought it went off Sproles' hand. PHS down 11, 1:08 to go. Mountain takes it. Followed up and a foul called. Eccles will go to the line with 1:03 to go.
That's going to be on Francis. That's his fourth. Yeah, that Fountain just throws it up. Boy, good job by Eccles crashing the boards there.
So Eccles, good free throw shooter. Over 70%, 72.
Some more wholesale changes coming in from Tigers. Oh, he missed the first.
You know, Washington's missed 5 of their last 6 free throws just to give PHS just a semblance of a chance. And then they return the favor with the rebound. And the flying hook, no good by Jones, but followed up and in by Eccles.
Boy, Eccles, 21 tonight.
It feels like unlimited timeout night.
It's just, you know, it's funny because you never really see teams do a lot of this, but Coach Williams basically checking in all his guys that hadn't played much tonight to commit these fouls so the other guys can get in there and stay in the game.
Well, we assuming Washington hangs in and wins this one, they will move to 17-5, and they appear pretty well recovered from the 2 losses they took to Catholic and to Ribault. They bounced back with a win over Davenport about a week ago, and now winning tonight.
We still got the trophy ceremony after the game. We also got a Closet by Design player of the game.
And inbounds and
oh boy, it's Elijah Jernigan again.
Well,
he tried to get a turnover right there on the inbound, but this was going to be the case, most likely anyway.
And of course it's Ware.
Boy, Ware can't catch a break right this second.
Yeah, he really he just needs something to go right.
Yeah. He wants to end and make here. There you go. That's got to feel good. Ware's got 6. Fountain, good recovery.
Sproles has it. Rebound. Jones puts it up. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 47 seconds to go. And
that's going to be on Francis. Francis will be done.
So Dwayne Francis fouls out with 14 points tonight.
Looks like Muslim's going to check in for Francis. Oh, excuse me, Starks. See, Muslim will check in.
Muslim, Ware, Williams, Starks, and Clarity.
Pretty good lineup.
Jones. That looked more like a 46% free throw shooter right there. Man, both teams really struggling down the stretch here from the line.
Jones came into the game averaging almost 9 points a game. He's got 10 here tonight. Well, he's been fantastic defensive end and on the offensive boards.
Missed them both.
The lane violation anyway.
Full court pressure and a foul on
Evil.
Evil.
You get to see Muslim at the line tonight.
Well,
you know Ware's like, about time. And Ware got to end on a make.
They've missed 7 of their last 8 free throws.
Yep.
And the gym empties out a little more. We had such a good first half.
Oh, my goodness.
And much of this second half was good and competitive until Washington made a run late in the third.
Nice move. Fountain.
Yep, Fountain with the drive and the basket.
The Tigers' hopes live on.
The foul on Eccles as he fouled Williams with 33.9.
Eccles has got 4. Coach Williams just keeps waiting for one ball to bounce their way, get that break, maybe get a big 3. Completely changes this game.
26 points tonight for Williams.
Now Williams going.
Well, 27 for him. That is a season high. I don't know if it's a career high. Sproles wide open for 3.
Oh, how about that? Not so fast. Sproles got 16.
7-point ball game with 19 seconds to go. Foul on PHS is on Noah Jones. They only have 3 for him.
Jones is surprised by the call. How about that shot by Sproles?
Williams back on the line. 19 seconds to go. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Fountain. Rebound. Kicked out to Musalem. And he's fouled by Jones coming up the sideline.
Well, had a chance.
Well,
Coach Lewis, you know he's going to be talking to him about those free throws.
no kidding. I mean, they're obviously downstream with, with their postseason hopes. You're gonna get in a game where you miss 10 out of 11 free throws down the stretch. You're not gonna have another day to bounce back.
And that's gonna do it.
Yep.
Loosen the stat pad here.
Yep.
Game's over.
75-65, the Washington Wildcats. Well, it was a good game for about 3.5 quarters, and then we tested the philosophical definition of eternity in the final minute and a half.
Yep.
But Washington comes away with a win to move to 17-5 on the year. PHS falls to 16-8. And that wraps up their regular season. They'll look ahead to the district tournament. Washington still has some basketball to play. All right, we're going to go crown the champions here. Talk to the winning coach and the player of the game. Pretty clearly, Keelan Williams.
Don't give it away.
Buried the lead.
We'll be back in a minute.
You're watching Gene's Floor Coverings High School Hoops, presented by Emmanuel, Shepherd, and Condon.
All right, back at Washington High School, Dan Shugart here with the victorious Washington Wildcats who've knocked off their arch rival, Pensacola High Fighting Tigers, 75-65. And it was a fight. Coach Dwayne Lewis, it was a heck of a first half, really intense and entertaining for us. And it got a little bit, a little parade to the free throw line at the end. But overall, how'd you feel about your team's performance with this team?
Performance, we got to do better down the stretch. Whenever it's PHS in Washington, records go out the window. It's always a tough game. It's always a tough rivalry. They always make it hard on us. Total team effort. Very proud of these guys. All the adversity that they went through all year, always fighting through it as a team. That's what I'm most proud of. Everybody chipped in. Everybody made a difference.
You'll probably be talking about improving free throw shooting down the stretch where it may really cost you later on.
For sure. If we're going to get into the playoffs, free throws is going to help us get over the top. And if we're behind, it's going to help us come back. So we're definitely be working on shooting a lot more for the rest of the week.
When we were talking earlier in the week preparing for this game, you talked about you kind of had everybody's a point guard, and you could go to any of them and anybody could have the night. Tonight is Keelan Williams, but a lot of people did a lot of really good things for you. Dwayne Francis had a wonderful job keeping a lot of offensive rebounds alive and that sort. But talk about the backcourt and how much you can rely on all of them.
Yeah, I love them all. They play tough, they play hard, and they play for each other. And any given night, it could be somebody else, and we've accepted the fact that whoever's going that night, we just got to play off of that person. As a team, we've accepted that.
Where do you feel you are? I mean, you're a week or two away from the postseason, and as far as you're building towards, the way you want to be playing.
Yeah, I think we're doing good. We just got to get rested. We've had a tough early schedule, and we're just trying to grind out the rest of the season. I think once we get rested physically and mentally, we'll get sharper as we go. But the guys are picking up on some things. We just got to get sharper. So I think we just got to get rested.
Are there any particular areas, aside from free throw shooting, other areas that you really feel like you have to maybe fine-tune for the postseason?
Just transitioning from defense to offense, changing defenses, changing offenses. I think, once we get sharper, once we get rested, I think mentally we'll be able to pick up on those things a lot faster, where we can take advantage of those transitions while the other team is adjusting to us. We can increase the lead from the defensive side as well as the offensive side. And I think we'll be fine.
You talked about Keelan Williams, obviously recovering from the broken thumb earlier in the year, and what a performance tonight. We had him for 27 points tonight, and he is our Closets by Design player of the game. So, Keelan.
Hey, proud of this guy right here. Been going through a lot of adversity, in and out of the lineup, in and out of the rotation, trying to find his rhythm and get back going to give us the player that you guys seen tonight. So proud of him hanging in there. We're going to ride him as far as he can take us, but super proud of the guy. Keelan Williams, play the game.
Congratulations, Keelan.
My team had a good effort tonight. Not just me, but my boys back here, J4 and Kaden, Dwayne, all these boys had a good night tonight, too.
Get a big win like this over your arch rival PHS. How's that feel?
Good. We're waiting for them.
All right. Good luck to you the rest of the way, and congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Keelan Williams, our player of the game for Closets by Design, and now a championship trophy for the big win tonight to the Washington Wildcats, 75-65 winners over PHS. For Jeff Price, our entire crew here on High School Hoops, Dan Shugart saying so long from Washington. For once again, the final score, the Washington Wildcats 75, the Pensacola High Tigers 65. So long.
Go, go. You wanna try me? You wanna try me? You wanna try? You wanna try? You wanna try me? You wanna try me? Well, here it go. You wanna try me? Well, here it go. Can't stop, they can't hold.